Hello everyone and welcome to Power BI mapping. And as part of Power BI mapping, we will first talk about Power BI ArcGIS Maps, and GIS stands for Geographic Information System. First, I would like to start with a little bit of theory, and then we will go to Power BI service and make use of these maps. So what is ArcGIS? ArcGIS is a geographic information system or GIS for working with maps and geographic information. It is used for creating and using maps, compiling geographic data, and analyzing your mapped information. And the system provides an infrastructure for making the maps and the geographic information available openly on the web. And the combination of ArcGIS Maps and Power BI takes your mapping beyond the presentation of points on a map to a whole new level. So you can choose from base maps, location types, different themes, different symbols, and lots of different reference layers to create a gorgeous informative map visualizations in Power BI. And the combination of authoritative data layers on a map with spatial analysis conveys a deeper understanding of the data in your visualization. And this ArcGIS Maps is provided by ESRI. So for this demonstration, I do not have any sample data set, so I'm going to use the one that has been provided by Power BI. So to import that, go to your Power BI service and log into that. And in the left bottom section, you will see Get Data section. So just click that, and over here you can basically go and create your new content, or you can discover the content that is already been published by your organization, or you can go and import the samples that are being provided by Microsoft Power BI. So I'm going to click on the sample, and I'm going to make use of the retail analysis sample and just say connect. So what this does is it imports the underlying dataset, and it imports the reports that have been created from the dataset, and it also imports the dashboard that have been created from those reports. So the dataset is ready. I can choose to go and view the dataset. So this is the dataset. So it has 5 different tables, and you can also go and view the reports. So go to your workspace, and over here you will see a dashboard. So this is the dashboard that's been created out of the reports. So it's a very simple dashboard, and just go to my workspace, and if you go to reports, you will see a report called retail analysis sample, and that's the report that we have imported now. So you will see different report sections, and of course the dashboard has been created out of that reporting section. And if I go to the dataset section, you can see the retail analysis sample dataset is there, and if you want you can go and create a report or refresh the dataset, or you can do anything you want. So that's the basic introduction of the dataset that I'm going to use. So let me go back to my reports and go and edit the report so that I get a view of the dataset that I can work with. I can create a new page, and I can create my ArcGIS maps over here. But one thing, just before you can use the ArcGIS maps, what you need to do is you need to go into your settings and go into general section, and in the general section you will see a section for ArcGIS Maps for Power BI. So just select that and allow the Power BI to use the ArcGIS Maps, okay? And only then you'll be able to use these maps within Power BI. So just select that and say apply, and once you are done, you'll be back to your normal page, the normal report page, and you just need to say edit. And if for some reason you are not able to see this particular visualization, and if you see this visualization is the ArcGIS Maps for Power BI, Then you can go into your import a custom visual section, which is represented by the three dots, and just import from the marketplace. You need this visual to create maps or to create ArcGIS maps in Power BI. So before we go ahead and use the dataset to create the maps using ArcGIS, I would like to talk a little bit about user content. This ArcGIS Maps for Power BI is provided by ESRI. So you can go to their website, which is www.esri.com. And your use of ArcGIS Maps for Power BI is subjected by ESRI's terms and privacy policy. So it's a no-brainer to say that you obviously need to accept the terms and conditions of ESRI. So let's come to the most interesting part. Let's get started with creating a map. From the visualizations pane, first select ArcGIS Maps for Power BI. So first select this custom visual. And now from the field section towards your right, what you can do is you can drag a data field to this location bucket. Okay, so the data field is going to come from my store and it's going to come from my city. So I'm going to drag the city to my location and expand this map. It will take a little while to upload the data because it's been done by ESRI. And you see it's showing me a map of the United States and the eastern part of United States, and we are getting a dot for each of the city. Okay, so if you would like to see how these cities are represented in plain text, then what you can do is you can just select a normal table or a matrix and select city. So if you do that, you get the city names. Okay, and your map is intelligent enough to take these city names and plot them onto the maps. Okay, so again these are very much cross filtered. So if you select any of the city over here, it gets cross filtered over any other visual that is present in the same report page. Okay, so let me unselect that just to get the entire set of cities, and let me make this short. It's not really required to have it long. Anyway, this is not required, so I will remove that and enlarge this mapping. So once you have this map, you can select this and you get the list of buckets into which you can drag and drop the fields from the field section. So from the fields pane, you can drag a measure to the size bucket to adjust how the data is shown. Okay, so here let us use sales value, some sales value. So the bigger the size of the circle indicates more sales for that particular area. So I can use last year sales, which is a measure that's been created, and drag it to the size section. And the circles get adjusted to indicate the size as well. And if you hover over the circles, you will see the sales value for last year. So again, you have lots of different options like latitude, longitude, color, type, and tooltip. So if you'd like to have a particular parameter as a tooltip, you just need to drag that into the tooltip bucket, and that particular value will be visible within each of the tooltip. For example, I can drag name into my tooltip section, and once you do that, if you hover over any of the circles, you will see the name of the store as well. And ArcGIS Maps provides lots of different settings and formatting options to allow us to provide or to generate more richer visual maps. So to go and access that, you can go and select these three dots and say edit. So this is some option that is not really available with the normal Power BI maps. It is only available with the ArcGIS maps. And you get lots of different options here: base map, location type, map theme, and so on. So let us explore all of these one by one now. So you can select the base map, and four different base maps are provided. The first one is the dark gray canvas. So if you select that, the map will get updated to show you the map in a dark gray. Okay, and the second one is the light gray, which we had used earlier, and the third one is your open street map. So you get to see the street information. Okay, so let me go in, like maximize in or zoom in, so you get to see the information of the freeway and all. And the last one is the streets view. Okay, so let me pick a particular city and go into the streets view. So let me go into Pittsburgh and observe if we are getting all the names of the different lanes and so on for this. So this is the streets view, and if you go to OpenStreetMap, you still get a detailed information. Anyway, so these are the four different maps that are available for your base map section. And the next option that you have is the location type. And before that, let me go back to the light gray canvas view of the map. I'll go to that map and kind of zoom out and go to the location type. So this ArcGIS Maps for Power BI automatically detects the best way to show your data on the map, and it provides two different options to represent your locations. One is the point and the other one is the boundary. So it automatically has selected a point, and if you change them to boundaries, probably it may not work, because your boundaries will only work if your data contains standard geographic values. So the ESRI automatically figures out the shape to show on the map, and the standard geographic values that will work with boundaries include your countries, your provinces, your zip codes, and so on. So that's the reason I'm getting this error. So let me go back to points and say okay, and let me close this error message. The next is the map theme, which is provided with the ArcGIS Maps. And again, four map themes are provided: the location only, heat map, size map, and clustering map. So since we had already added a field within our size bucket, automatically it is selecting the size map for us. Whereas if we had only the location, only this one location field and not the size field, you probably would have got a map similar to this, which has no size information. And one option you have is the heat map. It plots an intensity plot of data on the map. And you have the size map, which plots data points on the map based that are based on sizes of the value. Okay, and you have finally a clustering map, which plots the count of data points in regions on the map. Okay, so basically it's indicating that there are 20 different stores in this region, 22 different stores in this region, and so on. So let me go back to size, and the next option is the symbol style. And your symbols or the symbol styles enable you to fine-tune how the data is presented on the map. Symbol styles are context sensitive based on the selected location type and the map theme that you have seen just now. And within here you can control various different options, like how do you want to see these points. For example, if I want to have a square as a shape, you can do that. Or if you want to have a diamond, again it gives you the option to do that. And then again you can choose different colors as well, like what are the colors for my circles, and if you would like to have any thickness for them. Okay, And what is the transparency of the outline? If you do not want any outline, you can just give the transparency to 100. So this looks much better. And some other details like the number of classes or the natural classification type and so on. So now let's move to the next section, which is the pins. So using pins, you can call attention to points on your map by adding pins. For example, let me add Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte, if you add that, okay, so it will take some time to come over here, and the map actually gets zoomed out and you get a pin over Charlotte. Okay, so if you see, this pin is slightly different, and if you want, you can go and edit this pin. You can change the color if you would like. Okay, and if you want, you can go and add additional pins. For example, I'm adding New York here, so you can add New York. Okay, and if you zoom out, you can see where your pins are located. Okay, so here you have Charlotte and here you have New York. One thing to note is that your search results are saved as location cards in the pins pane, and you can save up to 10 location cards. And if you feel you do not want these pins, you can go ahead and delete them. The next option is the drive time option. And this drive time pane lets you select a location and then determine what other map features are within a specified radius or a specified driving time. So once you select the drive time tab, choose either the single select option or the multi-select option. So this is the multi-select option. If you select that, it will allow you to select multiple stores at once, and it is telling that only 10 stores can be selected. Okay, so I will go ahead with single select option, or probably it has selected the multi-select, so I will stick with that. So there are 3 locations which are there within this area, and let's say you are flying to this particular place, which is Cleveland, for a few days, and you want to figure out which stores are within a reasonable driving distance. So what you can do is you can change this search area to a radius, okay, to a distance of you can have miles or kilometers, whatever. So you can say just a distance of 50 miles and just say okay, and it will plot a radius. So we have 3 different radius, 3 different circles. That's basically because we had selected 3 different locations, and each of these circles will indicate if there are any particular location or store which is within my driving radius of 50 miles. So this canton, North Canton, is within the driving radius of 2 circles, I guess, and the radius is shown in purple color. If you want, you can change that as well. So you can go ahead and make it light ash, just to make sure it kind of goes with the underlying map. And again, you can control the outline color and transparency if you do not want any border. So that's all I have about drive time. And finally, let's come to reference layer. So there are a ton of options within this reference layer. So what I will do is I will stop this video now and I will continue in the next part of this video tutorial. Thank you.